Good morning. You are with Sallyanne Pisk, Health and Wellbeing presenter for Feisty, Fabulous and 50 Plus. I'm an accredited practicing dietitian and mindfulness practitioner and the founder of Eating for You, which is an online business helping women to overcome emotional eating habits. It is my pleasure today, over a cup of tea, to be speaking with Tania Grasseschi, a local Chinese medicine practitioner specialising in women's health. Today we will be exploring the Chinese medicine approach to menopause. Welcome, Tania.
Thank you.
I'm just going to briefly introduce Tania, as I think she is best placed to share her interesting career pathway into Chinese medicine. Tania has been practicing Chinese medicine, acupuncture and herbal medicine since 2004, and she is currently a lecturer at Endeavour College of Natural Health in Sydney. Tania's business is called Oriental Wisdom. So Tania, please share how you came about to enter a career as a Chinese medicine practitioner.
Well, I started off as an engineer.
Yes.
So I was working, I worked for 16 years as an engineer, and it was very stressful. I was travelling a lot, and my mum at one stage suggested I go and have some acupuncture so I can relax and cope with all the stresses of travel and corporate life. So I did, and I thought it was pretty special, the experience. And in wanting to investigate it a little bit further, I came across a course called Food as Medicine, because I couldn't get into the course I wanted to do initially. So I got into this course called Food as Medicine, and it just blew my mind. And because it was so amazing, I wanted to know more. And the more took me then to a new school, which taught me all about Chinese medicine. So I learnt about Chinese medicine diagnosis and shiatsu massage and feng shui and acupuncture. And it was like, oh my God, this is incredible. This is just such a holistic, supportive way of looking at life and health and everything. So I then just had to wait until the timing was right and I could go back to university, which eventually I did. Went back to UTS, did a Bachelor of Health Science in Traditional Chinese Medicine and took it from there.
Yeah, because it's quite a few years training, isn't it?
It's 4 years.
4 years,
Yeah.
And then you had done obviously that, other interesting, training beforehand. So, yes, no, I love the term myself as well, that, food is medicine.
Yeah.
It's quite central to the Eating for You approach, and I was fortunate, as we were speaking before, that I first came across Chinese medicine for myself in the mid-90s, and I could just see how it could complement, Western nutrition as well.
It's such a wonderful way of looking at food.
Yeah. And is there any particular areas? I know you love working in women's health. You're quite a specialist in women's health. So any particular areas you most work in with women?
These days I love to work with women in menopause. So as I get older myself, as I get older myself, I like to work with the older women. Yes. When I was young, when I first graduated, I was working with young mums and little kids, and as things have progressed, that's the way it's gone.
Yes, and I did notice on your website that when you first noticed the signs of menopause, you went and got acupuncture.
Oh, absolutely. I get acupuncture regularly.
Yes.
With everything that I do, running my business, my clinics, the teaching, family, home. If I don't look after myself, how can I look after my clients?
Oh, no, it's so good to hear a healthcare practitioner looking after themselves. So, big one from me. So, well done. Yeah, so our topic today, if you're just tuning in, is looking at Chinese medicine and how it can support us women through menopause. And I was listening to a radio interview you had done with a station in New Zealand a little while back. And I was quite fascinated by the discussion, but in particular, I wondered how much you had noticed with the women you work with about what menopause means for them, because I know for myself, when I was entering perimenopause, I found this wonderful Ayurvedic book that explained menopause as like a new lease of life for women, and I kind of embraced that. I thought that's a fantastic way to look at menopause, but how do other women view it and clients that you work with?
The fascinating thing I found when I first started investigating menopause is that not everybody experiences it the same way. So a lot of people in the West, in Australia, in America, in England, they are experiencing the hot flushes and the night sweats and the dry vaginas, and this is what they experience, and this is what they classify as being, I'm now in menopause or going into menopause. But when you look at what's happening around the world, women in India don't experience these things. Women in Japan tend to get shoulder stiffness. Women in I can't remember the other country, one of the other countries I was investigating, Hong Kong, that's right, they experience muscle aches and pains and joint pain. They don't get the hot flushes.
Yes.
So where are these different signs and symptoms coming from? It's more than just the decline in estrogen.
Yes.
There is our lifestyle that the different cultures have, there's our different diets that we have in the different cultures, but there's also very much the different belief systems. You know, so for us it's all about youth, and as we get older, you know, all of my friends, oh my God, I'm turning 30, oh my God, I'm turning 40, double God, I'm turning 50. You know, the world is ending.
Yes.
But it's not.
No, it's
for
just
a lot
beginning.
Oh, absolutely.
For me anyway, and I apologise because I know it's not the same for all women,
Yeah,
but
very true.
But for me, very much it was about that. And I know from my own experience, it was very much an interesting entry point for me, because I sort of had a different sort of symptom for me to become curious, in the fact that I had the postural hypertension. So what was happening? My blood vessels were dilating, and that is probably partly to manage the heat that was happening, and you know, the hormonal changes causing the heat, and my blood pressure was dropping. So I did some research and saw that. But yeah, you know, there was also some hot flushes and the night sweats, and I think, as you mentioned in this other interview I listened to, you know, the disruption to our sleep is just such a big impact, isn't it?
Yeah. A lot of women, when you're not sleeping well, everything else becomes too hard. So a lot of clients I'm seeing at the moment are struggling with anxiety.
Yes.
You know, a lot of people are saying, oh, menopause, you know, I'm more anxious these days because I'm in menopause.
Yes.
And it's like, well, is it?
No.
You know,
right.
or is it more about the fact that you're not sleeping well, you're exhausted, and life just feels too hard now?
Yes.
You know, that the changes that are coming in, oh my God, you know, that oh my God feeling of life is ending is also exhausting.
Yes. And I know we'll come back after the break and we'll talk about, you know, ways to manage the symptoms and reduce the symptoms of menopause. But I personally found, you know, being a mindfulness practitioner helped a great deal, because you could observe things rather than react to what was going on.
Reframing really helps. Remembering that, you know, we're becoming the wise women.
Yes.
You know, this is this new start in life.
We'll get more into this wisdom after the break. So just to let you know, you're with Sallyanne Pisk and Tania Grasseschi. We are taking a short break, but we'll be soon back to talk about how to manage menopause, as I said, and really embrace this new stage of life. Welcome back. You're with Sallyanne Pisk, and my guest today is Chinese medicine practitioner and women's health expert Tania Grasseschi. During our break, we have been savouring our cups of tea. Tania, what have you chosen today?
I love licorice tea.
Yeah, and why
It's
is
my
that?
favourite. Licorice in Chinese medicine, gan sao, is very tonifying, nourishes the qi, it nourishes the digestion, and it's so naturally sweet. And the sweet flavour is very nourishing.
Yes. Now, if you're listening and like sweet things, then try some licorice tea. I've actually chosen a Bengali spice tea today. I didn't actually check whether I think it's just all spices. I don't actually think it has tea in it, does it?
I'm not sure.
No,
Didn't read the side of the bottle.
Oh, very, very remiss. I didn't check that. It doesn't taste like it's got black tea, and I just like the spices, and I've been quite amazed. It's a new tea for me, and it also is quite naturally sweet from most likely the cinnamon, because that's quite a strong flavour. Yeah, so we've both got naturally sweet beverages. Yeah,
Very nourishing and nurturing.
what all of us need. So I'm really eager now, Tania, to explore how you help women, move through menopause with grace and embrace that wisdom that we were talking about before the break.
In Chinese medicine, everything is about bringing yin and yang back into balance. Okay, so the yin is that cooling, calming, moistening aspect. The yang is the warming, drying, active aspect. So I'm playing with my hands here and you can't see that, but when yin and yang are in balance, everything's working just fine. When the yin becomes depleted, so the yin level drops, it is as if there is too much heat in the body. So that cooling, calming, moistening aspect is dropping. We become dry, we become hot.
And is that linked to the hot flushes?
Yes, it is. The hot flushes, the night sweats, the vaginal dryness, skin dryness, dryness in the eyes, dryness in the mouth, all of those aspects of dryness.
Yep.
So what we don't want to do when that happens is then try to clear out the fire of the body, because then the yang will become depleted as well. What we need to do is to nourish the yin. And in nourishing the yin, we bring it back up into balance. And we can do that by eating foods whose nature is more cooling. So, for example, having a peppermint tea or a green tea will be more cooling to the body without chilling or putting out the digestive fires. By eating foods such as asparagus, and asparagus is a herb we use in Chinese medicine that helps to cool the body without putting out the fire. Sometimes we need to put out a little bit of fire as well, but generally it's about nourishing that cooling, moistening aspect to bring it back into balance.
Yes, yeah. And how does the acupuncture work? Because I know I have at times encouraged my clients, because as I was saying, I embraced Chinese medicine some time ago as well, and people worry about the needles, and I say, you don't actually feel the needles. I think they think of these great big syringes or something. I'm not sure, but how does the acupuncture help balance the body?
Okay, multi-million-dollar question there. The needles don't hurt. They're very, very fine. They are like a hair's breadth fine. I use needles that are like 0.2 of a millimetre. So they're not painful at all. So that's one good thing about the experience. The other thing is that in the body from a Chinese medicine perspective, we say that the body has channels of energy, meridians where the energy flows, and each of those meridians relates to a different organ system. So we've got the kidney channel and the spleen channel and the heart channel and all that sort of thing. The points we then use where we put those needles, each point along that channel serves a function for that organ system. And again, in Chinese medicine, we look at an organ system from a much bigger and broader perspective than just the organ itself. So in Chinese medicine terms, we say that the kidney is responsible, or the kidney energy is responsible for reproduction. So it's makes no sense from a biomedical perspective, but it makes every sense from the way we look at things in Chinese medicine, because we see the bigger picture. So what we need to do from an acupuncture perspective is look at how the different organs play out. So that's where we're looking at more than just what are the hormones doing. If people are not sleeping, how do we help them to sleep better? Often looking at the heart meridian. When people are not digesting well, they're not absorbing the nutrients and the resources they need, because to make hormones, you need to be absorbing all the nutrients appropriately, proper fats and those sorts of things. If you're not digesting well, then we need to work spleen stomach type meridians. So each of the meridians will help bring the whole body back into balance. And then we'll use points on those meridians that will help to cool or to clear the heat, or to support the process of not sweating or sweating appropriately, to bring more energy into our nether regions. So using the acupuncture does that. It brings the whole system into balance, not just the yin and yang, but the 5 elements of Chinese medicine, the major organs, the major meridians.
So it's nearly, I hadn't thought about it this way, and I think your hand movements that unfortunately you can't.
I'm Italian, I speak with my hands a lot.
You can't see it all, but it just reminded me, it's like a conductor, in terms of acupuncture is forming nearly that role of a conductor, you know, bringing the body so it makes nice music, you know.
Absolutely. Yeah, getting everything to harmonise.
Yes. Yeah.
Bringing the communication between all of the different systems in the body, allowing them to work together like an orchestra.
Yes, so like I said, I never thought about it, but you were conducting as you were speaking, and I thought, that's perfect. Absolutely perfect. Now, one thing that bothers me a lot as a nutritionist and a holistic practitioner myself is the one-size-fits-all herbal or supplement approach to menopause.
Yeah.
Would you like to just share briefly, because we could talk about this obviously all day as well, but about the approach for putting a formula together for someone who may be experiencing hot flushes, for example?
When a client comes to see me, I need to sit down with them and take a full case history. So I find out everything that's going on for them. I then feel their pulses. I look at their tongue. In doing that, I can work out which of those organ systems are out of balance, where the yin is at, where the yang is at. And when we put a formula together, we put that formula together to bring everything back into balance. So if you go to the health food store or an oriental supermarket or something and go, I want that bottle, it's not necessarily going to be good for you.
No.
So to buy a bottle of something that says menopause relief and then you go, well, this doesn't work. Well, it probably doesn't work because it's not bringing your system back into balance.
Yes.
So much better to go and have a chat to a practitioner,
Definitely.
work out where your imbalances are, and then you can work out which of those either over the counter herbs would be beneficial for you, or have something made up that is specific for you.
Yes, no, I think that's a really important message. So unfortunately our time is coming to an end, and there's so much more we could talk about, and I would really love you to come back on the program at another time.
I would love to.
But how can anyone who's listening today contact you and reach out and get some support from you?
Well, as you mentioned earlier, my business is Oriental Wisdom. So my website is orientalwisdom.com.au. You can book an appointment with me through the booking system online, or you can give me a call. My phone number's on the website. I'm here in Katoomba at the moment, 2 days a week, but that will increase as the year progresses.
Yeah, and you also have a clinic in Sydney, is that right?
I do, yes.
Yeah, so if you're listening and you're in Sydney sometime as well, you can track Tania down there as well.
For a little bit longer, yes.
Yeah, she's going to move permanently to the Blue Mountains.
Oh, I can't wait.
That will be wonderful. So thanks again, Tania, for joining us today on Over a Cup of Tea. And as I said, I look forward to talking with you again in the future.
Thank you so much for this amazing opportunity.
My pleasure. And if you're listening today and you've got a health question that you'd like answered, please contact me through my website and we can cover it off in this program, eatingforyou.com.au.